Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Waste Talks series. I'm your host, Vartika, and today's episode is extra special. Instead of one guest, today we have two guests, mom and daughter duo. And today we are talking about art of using leftover food from yesterday. With me, I have Suchi and Simone. Suchi is an expert in using leftover food and transforming into a brand new recipe. And Simone is learning firsthand from her mom all the recipes and also learning that food should not be wasted. Welcome, Suchi and Simone. How are you doing? Welcome to my channel.
I'm doing great.
Thank you,
So,
Vartika. Thanks for having us here. Yeah, we are doing great. Thank you.
yeah, thank you. Okay, so we're talking about art of using leftover food. So I want to ask you first of all, what are some of the recipes and items that you cook in your main meal, dinner, lunch, etc., that you sometimes have extra and have to use in the leftover? What are some of the things?
Yeah, since we are Indian, so we usually make Indian food in our homes. Usually it is rice, roti, dal, veggies, stuff like that. And most of the times they are not fully consumed and they are leftovers which we can consume after a few days or maybe the next day. So yeah, I can talk about those recipes today.
Yeah, that's great. So let's just start with rice. We make steamed rice. I guess you also make steamed rice sometimes. Sometimes even if we have leftover, we can eat as is. But sometimes it becomes dry or something. So what are some of the items you make from the leftover rice?
So yeah, keeping in mind that we are very health conscious too and calorie conscious too. So I don't make a lot of, rice with a lot of oil and ghee in it. Most of the times it's steamed rice only so that I can take the starch out of it and have it. So let's suppose I make it in a good quantity and it is left over for the next day. So what I make is for my kids' lunch, for my daughter's lunch, I make vegetable fried rice, like putting a lot of veggies in it. So that way kids can have veggies, otherwise they'll not have it, right? And then she likes tomato rice too, like a lot of tomatoes and onions in it, and she likes it for her lunch. So tomato rice is another option, and then I make rice cutlets or rice patties sometimes, like mixing it with the boiled potatoes, onions, cilantro, and green chilies, and make patties out of it. And then there is a South Indian recipe called lemon rice, which you can also make out of the steamed rice.
Okay, so quite a
Yeah,
few items you can make,
yeah,
tomato rice, lemon rice, cutlets.
yeah.
So when you add lot of vegetables, what vegetables do you add? What Simone loves to eat?
It depends on what I'm making. So if I talk about vegetable fried rice, then I can put all the veggies in it, whatever I can put. For example, onions, tomatoes, and then peppers, green peppers, red peppers, yellow peppers, and then
Carrot, sometimes carrot.
spring onions, yeah, spring onions, carrots. I sometimes add protein to it as well, like maybe eggs or chicken. So yeah.
So even chicken you can add to that extra flavor, extra
Yes.
protein. Wow. Uh-huh.
Yes, you can.
And it seems Simone loves this recipe. She's nodding her head. You like it?
Yes, I do.
So let me ask you, you like the original rice with curry or dal batter or this fried rice?
I honestly, it depends on what I feel like eating. Usually, I like the vegetable fried rice the most because they taste really good, but I also like the curry and rice as well.
Okay. So you are a good daughter, eat everything that your mom cooks for you.
Yes.
Okay. I heard the rice cutlets as well. Suji, I would love to know some tips from you how you add potatoes to it, right?
Yeah, I
So
add boiled
are they
potatoes.
easy to bind or like is how much time does that take to make?
So what I do is it doesn't take much time. So it's very much like the vegetable cutlets that we make. So I mash the boiled rice that I have and I mix it with the mashed potatoes, like the boiled potatoes. I mash them together and I add the veggies to it. And sometimes it's difficult to bind, then to make it easier, I add gram flour as well to it sometimes.
So veggies, maybe cooked veggies
No, raw
and
veggies. Raw
raw
veggies,
veggie.
yeah,
Okay.
raw veggies, and you can add gram flour to it, like the chickpea flour. You can add to it so that it gets bind easily.
Okay.
And
So
then
you
you just,
deep fry those so that they are cooked properly?
I don't use a lot of oil, honestly. I shallow fry them. I don't deep fry. Sometimes I make them in air fryer as well.
Okay.
Just spray a little bit of oil on it and air fry them. That's it.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great lunch idea as well.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It is a very good snack recipe too.
Mhm.
With tea, you really enjoy it. Yes.
So let's
Mm.
move to cooked curry, vegetable. What vegetables do you have left over sometime that you have to deal with transforming into something new?
Cooked vegetables, like we have a lot of, like for example, mixed vegetable I have made for tonight's dinner, right? And that is left over for next day. So what I'll do, I'll just make a vegetable sandwich out of it,
Mhm.
or I'll make a vegetable wrap, like a tortillas wrap. I'll make that. Or you can make that, you can stuff that into a paratha as well.
Hmm. Mhm.
Like, for example, the mixed vegetable, you can stuff it into a paratha and you can make it. That's really yum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you make vegetable wrap, like inside tortilla, what are the some of the condiments you add? Like, what is your recipe, full recipe of making a wrap?
So, for everything, I use a lot of veggies. Particularly for wrap, I use lettuce,
Mm-hmm.
cucumbers, onions, tomatoes, and then peppers, green peppers, mushrooms. Then I can add a little bit of paneer also for a bit of protein. I add paneer to it as well.
So do you add, I mean, some mayo or some dressing into the
Yeah,
wrap? Okay,
yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
I don't like a lot of dressing honestly because they are full of calories. So if I have mint chutney which is made at home, I usually add that. Or she likes mayonnaise, so I add mayonnaise for her. And whatever dressing, it depends on the taste, whatever people like, right? I like mustard sauce because that's low in calories. So I add mustard sauce too sometimes.
Yeah.
But you can add whatever you want as per your taste.
Yeah, basically you have your raw ingredient, your leftover curry,
Yes.
and then you can
Yes.
do whatever way you can make it.
Yes, you can. Definitely. Hmm.
Okay, so now let's move to the third one, dal that we all make almost every night. Some people make. So
Yeah.
sometimes, do you have a lot of leftover dal?
I try to make it as less as possible, but still it is always left out. So, yeah.
Okay, so what do you make with that then?
So sometimes I make the dal paratha. So if you have heard about it, we knead dal and atta together with onions and cilantro in it and some masalas, normal masalas that we have in the house like salt, pepper, red chili, green chili, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I knead it together and I make paratha out of it. Like the we call
yeah,
it missa paratha or dal wala
yeah.
paratha.
Yeah,
And
missa
if
paratha is like mixed paratha, you can say.
yes,
To
yes.
yeah, to explain. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. And if we have a dal which is a bit solid, for example, chana dal we have sometimes, right? But that's not very dry. So I dry it, I take the water out of it, like cook
Mhm.
it for a lot of time and then it gets dried. Then you make stuffed paratha as well out of that dry dal.
Mhm.
You can stuff the dal into the atta and you can make a paratha out of it. So that is also you can
Which one
something.
Simone likes better, the missa paratha or the dry paratha, or both?
I would I would say I like the missa pranta, the mixed pranta better.
Mhm.
Actually, this is my favorite dish as well from leftover dal, missa paratha. So I knead the dal with the wheat flour, right? And
Yes.
because my kids love it, and it becomes very soft,
Oh,
and it's
yes.
protein rich, right? And they can eat with ketchup or anything, and it already has protein in it. So I love to serve this.
Yeah,
With
it is
them.
protein rich. Yeah.
Yeah,
Whatever dal it is always protein
yeah.
rich.
And I sometimes make extra dal just to make this, because they don't like dal as is. They would
Yeah,
rather eat the paratha, so why not?
yeah, that's true. That's true with her too.
Yeah, I mean, this thing you can do with the with the curry as well, that you make with the liquid curry, right? You can knead it with dough, and you can make roti out of it, roti or bread.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, yeah. There are a lot of recipes that you can follow.
So roti reminds me now, leftover roti
Yeah.
or maybe bread. You have some ideas for that as well?
Yeah. So, we usually shop from Costco's, right? And in Costco, you get everything in bulk, right? Three bread packs at a time. So most of the times we are nearing the best before date and we are not able to consume all of the bread before that date. So what I usually do is if I have a full packet of bread, so we are since we are five people at home, so I sometimes make bread upma for them.
Mhm.
It's kind of I make it in a South Indian style, like adding curry leaves, adding mustard seeds, that kind of stuff,
Okay,
onions,
before you
tomatoes,
go to mustard seed, how do you make crumbs from the bread? Like, how would I really break it?
like
Like
breadcrumbs, you
upma.
mean?
Yeah, the bread pieces, like
Oh yeah,
what
yeah,
kind
yeah,
of size? Yeah. Mhm.
yeah. So for example, it's a square shaped bread, right? So I make I think 12
Yeah,
pieces out of
square
a
pieces, 12. Okay.
12 or 9. I don't exact depends upon the size of the bread, 9 or 12. So three and then three like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
square pieces, and you can include the edges also. You don't have to cut the edges. You can include them.
Okay, so now let me explain to me a little bit in detail, because a lot of people don't cook South Indian food. They don't understand how it is cooked. So tell
Mhm.
me in detail how you make upma.
So I start with cutting the bread, which I have
Mhm.
just discussed. And then for tadka, I take a bit of oil, not a lot of oil. And then I put mustard seeds, curry leaves into it. And then I put a lot of onions because the main masala is of onion and tomatoes only. So I
Okay.
put a lot of onions. So when onions get a little golden, then I add tomatoes to it. And then green chilies, like the normal tadka that we do for all other stuff, right?
Green chili is a must.
Green chili is a must, yes. And then
Okay.
put a bit of water to it because I don't want it to be a very dry tadka. Put a bit of water and then add your bread pieces to it.
Okay.
And then if you think that it's really dry, you can add more water and you can cover it for some time, maybe for 2 or 3 minutes. You just cover it and then it becomes soft.
Okay.
Don't put
So
a
yeah, it
lot of
absorbs all the
water.
water from your tadka, onion and tomato. And do you cover it or just
Just cover it for a minute or so,
okay?
not for too long. Yeah, but when that's ready, add a lot of cilantro to it. That gives a really good taste. And I add
And
a bit of ketchup also to
okay,
the bread upma.
and
That
eat
really,
it right away.
yeah, right away eat it. Otherwise, it
It's
will
not
get,
good for lunch, right? It will be soggy.
yes, you can say that. Yes, it will be soggy. Yeah, eat
So
it right
mostly
away,
for
right
the
away in
evening.
breakfast.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I make it usually in breakfast, not in the
Mhm.
evenings. Yeah. But that tastes really good. You should try that.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
usually don't have leftover bread. I don't know why.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
Okay.
yeah, it's a good idea if I have. Usually
Yeah.
I have two or three pieces, then I will just dry it and keep it for my breadcrumbs, for the cutlets, etc.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. No, we buy from Costco, so we get it like three pack, three in one pack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put everything in the fridge right from the beginning, so it kind of stays in that fresh mode.
Oh, okay. Okay. No, I freeze the bread sometimes because you don't consume three at a time. So
Yeah,
I
it's a
just
great
put one
idea.
in fridge and two in freezer.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we discussed rice, dal, bread, curry, and okay, let's talk about chicken as well. So, first of all, what scrumptious recipes you make out of chicken? First, tell me your first recipe, and then we will talk about leftover.
Yeah. So Chicken, you mean raw chicken, right?
Yeah, whatever out of chicken you make. Yeah. Mhm.
When it's raw, I usually make chicken curry or I make the saute chicken, like a
Mhm.
chicken breast with veggies, sauteed veggies to it. So when that's left, for example, I made chicken breast in dinner and that's not consumed.
Mhm.
So the next day I have it, the cooked chicken I have in my fridge, right? So what I will do the next day, I'll make chicken salad or chicken wrap or chicken sandwich.
Okay.
So
So what
yeah.
is chicken salad?
Chicken salad is like normal salad, which we have like lettuce, whatever veggies you want to add, lettuce, broccoli, cucumbers, tomatoes, onions, sweet
Mhm.
corns. So whatever salad you have, just add cooked chicken, like slice it into small, small pieces and add it to your salad and add the dressing.
Okay. So that's the easiest one, just a cold
That's
recipe.
yeah, just chop it into small, small pieces and add it to your salad. That's
And
the
that
easiest.
makes a great lunch as well. For
Yes,
yeah.
yes, yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
that's
And
salad.
mhm. So you were saying sandwich.
Sandwich, yeah, I try to make very small, small pieces of chicken because sandwich you don't like big pieces, right? For that, either you make I don't know how, either you grind it, you mash it like that. I don't know what do you call that thing with which you do that.
Grated chicken.
Grated, yeah, 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 grated. You can
Are
grate
you
it
able to grate it like because it's cooked chicken? I think it. Yeah, that's a good idea.
because it's a big piece, right? You can hold it easily in your hand and you can grate it. So for sandwich, I usually do that. Like just add whatever veggies you like to your sandwich.
Mhm.
And the chicken, I make it separate. I don't usually add it to the veggies because I on the sandwich, what I usually do is I take a bread slice, I put chicken, and then I put veggies.
Okay.
It's not like I'll mix the veggies and chicken together.
Yeah, yeah,
Those are two different
yeah.
stuffs.
It might be a sloppy mixture of both. So
Yeah.
first put your chicken. So in
Yes.
chicken, you said you mixed something. You mixed mayo or something.
Yes, whatever dressing you like as per your taste. I usually like mustard sauce. So
Okay.
I add mustard sauce or there are a lot of dressing. I like peri peri sauce too. That makes a really good flavor. Peri peri sauce, if you have heard about it. Even there is a peri peri masala also that you get from the market. You can just sprinkle on your sandwich. You can have it. Yeah.
So toasted bread. Bread is
Toasted on,
toasted.
yeah,
Yeah.
I put everything first, like make a sandwich and then I toast it in a panini press or a toaster.
Okay, okay, awesome.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and when you say veggies, that is like your cucumber, tomatoes, onion, etc. Just
Yes,
sliced, right?
yes. Sliced, yes.
Okay. Yeah, no, I learned something new today. Like we can grate chicken because I always try to chop it, and I think that takes a bit more time than grating,
Yeah,
and that makes a
yeah.
finer mixture as well.
Oh,
And
yeah.
because it's cooked chicken, I think it will go very smoothly.
That's true. Yeah, that's
Right.
true. There are some roti recipes also that I would like to share with you all. So sometimes we have a leftover rotis in our house, which we are not able to, finish in dinner. So what I do is the next day, I make taquitos. I'm not sure if anybody has heard about it or no. Taquitos. We
Okay.
usually get it frozen from Costco or you get it from 7-Eleven stores.
Taquitos.
Taquitos, yes.
Okay.
So it's like what I do is I take a roti, leftover roti, and then I make stuffing for it. Stuffing, you mean the small, small chopped onions, tomatoes, and then peppers, and then cheese. I make a stuffing out of this, and sometimes I add sweet corns too and paneer too. So there is a stuffing ready, and then I put it in a line on my roti, and then I roll it and I air fry it.
Wow. So kind of a roll, but special roll.
Yeah, kind of a roll, but then the roti gets crisp. This is how taquitos are crisp from outside and wet, like the stuffing is wet from inside.
Okay.
So
Again, that makes a good lunch, I guess.
yes,
Cooking lunch,
yes,
right?
yeah.
For
You just
people.
heat them and you have it. Yeah. And then the other recipe, roti recipe, might be roti spaghetti that I make. So what I do is I take roti, I cut it into long pieces, thick pieces, maybe this wide spaghetti. If you have seen spaghetti, this
Okay.
wide only. So
Okay.
I cut them into long
Half
pieces.
inch maybe, right? Half inch.
Yes, you can say that. Yes,
Okay.
half-inch, and then you make what like the way you make spaghetti, normal spaghetti, like using pasta sauce, pizza pasta sauce, adding mushrooms to it, adding whatever veggies you like. So you can make a spaghetti out of roti. That's a different recipe. I'm sure not many people would have heard about it, but yes.
Yeah.
And kids really like it.
Okay. Yeah, so I would love to hear something from Simone. Do you cook something fondly or you just admire mom's recipes?
I are you talking about the leftovers or like just in general cooking?
We are talking about leftover recipes here so that we
Oh,
don't waste food. But
oh,
you can share something else if you want.
I'll just share the leftovers and I'll share general. I do really like cooking like fried rice. Usually I do it I watch my mom, but I also do try and cook myself. And also for general, I like cooking noodles, pasta, um and like sandwiches. I think that's really it. But for the leftovers, I would say fried rice.
Wow. And you are, how old are you?
I'm 12.
You are 12. Well, I knew that. For my audience, I asked you. And a 12-year-old girl is making all these things, rice from leftover and noodles and everything. Hats off to you. Awesome.
Thank you.
She makes
Yeah,
really
you
good
are a good helper
sandwiches.
of your mom.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and she
Yeah.
makes really good sandwiches.
I made one recently and it had like egg and it had cheese on it and then I heated it up on the pan
Wow.
and yeah, I just cut some veggies. It was really good.
So generally, kids don't like homemade food or especially food made of leftover. Do you want to say something for other kids that they also start liking these?
I would just say you should find some creative ways to make
Mhm.
that useless or not so tasty food into something that is tasty. Like, again, egg, right? Maybe some people don't like egg, and that's okay, especially if you're non-veg.
Mhm.
Um, you could just, make the sandwich recipe that I just said.
Mhm.
Just use the pan, heat it up. I mean, fry the egg, I guess, and make a nice sandwich out of it. So I would say just like be creative and
Mhm.
yeah, find nice ways to make something more like tasty.
Yeah, that's awesome. So that's a message for moms that they should be more creative, and a message for all the kids that they should help mom and like their recipes that whatever they cook. Suchi, you want to say something about using leftover food before we end?
No, I think that's a great way to use or recycle your food.
Mm-hmm.
I never used to do that in India because I'm from India. I never used to do that because in India we are not the ones who are managing the kitchen, right? We all have maids out there in our hometowns. But when we came to Canada and when we know that it's a hard-earned money that everybody is earning,
Yeah,
so when you waste food, it really hurts. It hurts here, actually, my heart.
that's
So I
right.
was like, no, rather than wasting food, let's convert it into something,
Yeah.
more useful thing. So yeah, when I came to Canada, maybe 6, 7 years back, then I started doing all this. But before that, I never used to do it. And I'm sure nobody of us would
Yeah.
have thought about it, doing it in India.
Yeah, no,
So,
that's right. Yeah, thanks for sharing all your delicious recipes. You
mhm.
shared like delicious sandwich, upma, and I did not hear a lot of things earlier that I know now, and I will definitely try with my kids as well. And everyone, it's not about using leftover, is not about serving the leftover foods. It's about transforming food into something new creatively maintaining its hygiene and its nutrition and satisfying the taste buds as well. So experiment with the leftover food and share your own recipes with us as well to inspire others. Thank you, Suchi and Simone.
Thank
Thanks, Vartika.
Everyone, thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.